Shit. I push something and I'm off.
We're live.
Yeah,
I can see you.
Yeah, I don't know. I push something and I can't, and I'm on. Enter the studio. Okay, so we're live. Anyway, welcome to Dr. Smith Live, 67th episode. We've got an exciting one today. I did a lot of homework, so you're going to get a lot of notes. I just sent the notes over to my two IT people. What anxiety, depression, chronic fatigue, mental fog, insomnia, tooth decay, and apathy have in common? So exciting topic. Little housekeeping before we get started. Next week, we're not going to have a presentation. The reason being, on Friday, May 6th, it's going to be the premiere of my 10-part cancer series on Cancer Deconstructed. RVN TV and I worked together in a collaborative effort. I wrote the program and they did the filming or videoing and editing. And so we're launching the first episode, which is actually the last episode, but it's very exciting about the whole series. It's going to be live streamed to Roku. And we'll be sending out the link to our people that follow us anyway. They can watch it, on your computer. So it's a very exciting time. It's all designed to educate the public about the truth about cancer. And hopefully some people will get enlightened. And that's what it's all about. Anyway, the other housekeeping note I wanted to just share with you. I strongly recommend that you start to look for alternative email systems. I've had a Proton account for over a year, and I'm just going to start to activate it. Excuse me. Activate it because when you go Proton to Proton, you're going to have encryption. And the way things are coming down the pike with censorship, you really want to have a protected email account. So that's my word for the day. Anyway, so our topics that we're going to be talking to tonight was learn the causes for the leading worldwide disability, why water purification, toothpaste, and bleaching agent for baked goods are a universal cause for depression and anxiety, how to protect yourself with natural remedies from succumbing to depression, anxiety, and related symptoms. And lastly, learn a simple home test to diagnose a potential cause for depression, anxiety, and related symptoms. Great quote from Mark Twain, there is no sadder sight than a young pessimist. Anyway, so my introduction, anxiety, depression, chronic fatigue, mental fog, insomnia, tooth decay, and apathy all have a common denominator, which is hypothyroidism. Depression is a common illness worldwide, with an estimated 3.8 of the population affected, including 5% among adults and 5.7% among adults older than 60. Approximately 280 million people in the world have depression. Depression is different from the usual mood fluctuations and short-lived emotional responses to challenges in everyday life, especially when recurrent and with moderate or severe intensity. Depression may become a serious health condition. It can cause the affected person to suffer greatly and function poorly at work, at school, and in the family. At its worst, depression can lead to suicide. Over 700,000 people die due to suicide every year. Suicide is the fourth leading cause of death among 15 to 29-year-olds. Pretty amazing statistic. Never realized that. Learn the causes for the leading worldwide disability. As with most medical issues, there are multiple causative factors. Among the list of causative factors for hypothyroidism are the halogens. We're talking about chlorine, bromine, and fluoride. The public water supply is laced with chlorine, or the stronger form, chloramine, because the bugs have gotten resistant to chlorine. Bromine is used to bleach your flour products. It's listed on most of the products, so you really have to be careful. Hot tubs use bromine as a disinfectant, and the plastic dashboards of your cars actually degas bromine in the hot weather. So that can suppress your thyroid function. So fluoride is present in many public water sources, plus present in 99% of all toothpaste. For those of you that are looking for a good quality toothpaste, I strongly recommend AquaEssenceToothpaste.com is the website. It's a formula that I personally developed, and we have produced by an FDA-approved laboratory. Again, all three halogens suppress the function of the thyroid. Other causative factors include heavy metals, especially the mercury that leaks out from your dental fillings, and also silver jewelry. People don't realize it, but you have pierced earrings or rings. The silver migrates into your tissues. So, and if you, silver, if you have any sensitivity, that literally can cause a rash anywhere in your body from silver, because most of the silver uses nickel as a hardening agent, and nickel is carcinogenic and can cause all kinds of problems. Glyphosate, Monsanto's herbicide Roundup, there's only over 40,000 lawsuits against Monsanto for causing cancer. So it's ubiquitous. It's in our rainwater. It's so prevalent in society today. Chemicals such as perchlorate, which inhibits the uptake of iodine into your thyroid gland, reducing the production of thyroid hormone at very low levels of exposure. Phthalates, they're found in cosmetics, shampoos, soaps, lotions, lubricants, paint, pesticides, plastics, and in a coating of some time-released medicines. May lower your testosterone levels, which prevent conversion of T4 to T3. So testosterone is present both male and female, and enables the conversion of T4, which is thyroxine, inactive form, to the active form of T3. So very, very important. Childhood vaccines, especially tetanus, it gets trapped in the left lobe of the thyroid, can interfere with thyroid function. Nutritional deficiencies, especially iodine, manganese, selenium, B12 and B2, vitamin C, vitamin E, protein, zinc, magnesium. About 73% of the population, I think, is shortchanged on magnesium from their diets because they don't like greens. Vitamin D3 and vitamin A are required to activate the receptors on the nucleus in the cells for the T3. So there's a lot of nutrients that support the function of the thyroid gland. And that's why it behooves you to get good organic vegetables whenever possible. Drugs such as Prozac, which have 3 molecules of fluoride, which suppresses the thyroid. Accutane, which is used to treat acne. The antiviral drug interferon alpha and corticosteroids can increase your risk of depression. Barbiturates and benzodiazepines like Valium also will suppress thyroid function. Dental infections, so any infections in the mouth are literally going to drain through your lymphatic system into your thyroid and cause suppression. Calcium, too much calcium suppresses thyroid activity. Foods, especially soy, cruciferous vegetables, especially radishes, isothiocyanate, excess sugar intake, casein from milk, peanuts and peanut butter, all are foods that suppress thyroid function. Synthetic hormones, the Synthroid, which unfortunately most doctors prescribe, doesn't really work properly. Levoxyl and levothyroid, they contain only the synthetic version of T4, which is the inactive form of the thyroxine. Excess vitamin A and zinc and also a selenium deficiency can cause thyroid deficiency. Excess intake of polyunsaturated fats, sunflower, safflower oils, okay? They're in most of the snack foods, but they're adulterated, and that's where the major problem comes in. So excess intake of polyunsaturated oils, excess or amino acid deficiency of L-tyrosine, which is the direct precursor to thyroxine. Trans fatty acids, also called trans unsaturated fatty acids. Most trans fats are formed through an industrial process that adds hydrogen to vegetable oil. So you get hydrogenated or partially hydrogenated oil, which causes the oil to become solid at room temperature. Because the longer chain fatty acids are deposited in cells more often as rancid and oxidized fat, it causes impairment of the conversion of your thyroid hormone T4 to T3, which is symptomatic of hypothyroidism. And it increases the risk of heart attacks, stroke, and type 2 diabetes. So it's all these fats that they've been pushing on us, margarine and all this garbage through the years. It's basically to suppress your thyroid. So trans fats in your food, commercial baked goods such as cakes, cookies, and pies, shortening, microwave popcorn, frozen pizza, refrigerated dough such as biscuits and rolls, fried foods including French fries, donuts, and fried chicken, non-dairy coffee creamers, and stick margarine. Total garbage. So please try to eliminate them or minimize them at all possible. Brain allergies from food. Interesting book called Brain Allergies by Philpott and Kalita. So you can have an allergy to chicken, strawberry, peas, or basically anything affecting your brain and causing depression. Chronic pain will cause depression because people get worn down and worn out. Prolonged exposure to EMFs, electromagnetic frequencies. Though not reported on by the mainstream media, there are now numerous studies confirming a link between high amounts of EMF radiation exposure and negative psychiatric symptoms. The neurotransmitter melatonin is responsible for regulating our sleep-wake rhythms. It has been established that EMF exposure suppresses the secretion of melatonin by the brain's pineal gland. So people who don't have blue blockers, you're going to have lower levels of melatonin. Not good. So reducing the risk of depression. Place diodes on your cell phones or your computers or any electronic devices to reduce your exposure. You can buy Faraday cages placed on smart meters, routers, and other electronic devices like cell phones. I have my cell phone, basically, it's a Faraday cage that my cell phone fits into, and it helps protect me. And I also have a diode on the back of my phone on the inside. This stuff will fry your brains. More brain tumors are caused from EMS from your cell phones. And especially when you start using the earbuds, they fry your brain bilaterally worse than the cell phone. Imprinting your eyeglasses with scalar energy. Those of you that may be familiar with my recent website, it's basically on icnr.com on the top menu, frequency shop. And the first program, the silver program, you'll have access to scalar energy. You literally can imprint the frequencies of scalar energy into your eyeglass lenses, and that'll help protect you. Use blue blockers or full screen hyperpolarized lenses when working in front of your computer. Wearing the Tesla energy card helps reduce EMFs. Go hardwired with your Wi-Fi connections, and please turn off your Wi-Fi at night. These cordless 900 megahertz base phones, they're worse than their cell phones. People have like 4 units spread around their apartments in their house. The 900 megahertz phones are really, really bad. Why water purification, toothpaste, and bleaching agents for baking goods are a universal cause for depression and anxiety. Most water purification processes use chlorine or chloramine. Both suppress thyroid function. Most toothpaste have fluoride, which also suppresses thyroid function. Much of the baked goods use bromine as a bleaching agent. In the 60s, they did away with iodine, and they used a cheaper bromine, which also suppresses the thyroid. And a low-functioning thyroid is a major cause for depression, anxiety, and about 26 other major symptoms. How to protect yourself with natural remedies from succumbing to depression, anxiety, and related symptoms. First, you must filter your water at least 1 time, but preferably 2 or 3 times, to remove the chlorine, fluorine, bromine, and numerous other drugs and chemicals in today's water. The Brita type filters will not cut it, people. It just primarily takes the chlorine odor out and maybe a few other little toxins. But there's also homeopathic forms of drugs that are people that are urinating out into the public water supply. They don't take these things out when they purify the water. The NSF, the National Sanitation Foundation, provides a website that lists which filters remove the following items: lead, arsenic, bacteria, coliform, cysts, viruses, chlorine, chromium, hexavalent chromium, fluoride, nitrate and nitrite, and total trihalomethanes and volatile organic compounds. So I listed the organic or the URL for the website of the National Sanitation Foundation. So those of you that are interested in filter systems, you can go there and see which pull out which contaminants. My personal recommendations, I have for my house the Vitasalis, vitasalis.net, full selection of systems for your sink, for your whole house, for countertops. Really good company. Been having, I think probably for about 9 years now, I've had my house filtered. And the ADIA water filtration system, it's a gravity fed, can sit on your countertop. And it was developed by the researchers at the University of Washington. So it is a very good system. In fact, I just changed my filter in there, and my water tastes scrumptiously delicious since I put my new filters in there. They're good for about 6 months, 6 to 9 months, depends on how bad your home water is. So I have a whole house water filter system. Take that water, put it into my ADIA, run through that, and then I take that and then I put it into my Royal Berkey, my 3 1/4 gallon Berkey. It's about $430, and it's good for 2 to 6 people. And with all the filtration I do, my special carbon filters in the Royal Berkey will last me way longer than the 6,000 gallons that they recommend. So without clean water, guess what? Your organs, tissues, and cells cannot properly be cleansed. So remember, if you don't filter your water, your organs will do it for you. And that's why people run into such serious problems. Natural remedies to counteract depression and anxiety. The key is to define or diagnose the underlying cause. One can also energetically test the compatibility of the vitamins, herbs, homeopathics, minerals, etc., using kinesiology, bidigital O-ring, pendulum, or divining rods. So again, you just don't want to throw any vitamin into your body without testing it for energetic compatibility with you. So key areas to focus one's approach. Your intestines. Again, evidence, there's a great article. It's in Appendix G of my book, Remove the Splinters and Watch the Body Heal. It's called Evidence for Intestinal Toxemia. Alan Immerman, who wrote it back in 1978, literally went through the medical literature for a 100-year period, and pretty much every and anything of a medical illness can be caused by a toxic bowel. So they knew that back in the early 1900s. If it's heavy metals, well, you want to also clean out your intestines. You can do that with food-grade diatomaceous earth. Very easy way and inexpensive way to do it for 90 days. Restore your microbiome of your intestines. Very important to put the healthy bacteria back in there. And if you eat, good organic fibrous foods, you're going to lay the groundwork to perpetuate healthy bacteria from inhabiting your intestines. So if you have heavy metal problems, glutathione is a great supplement. So foods high in glutathione are asparagus, globe artichokes, and avocado. Platinum Plus is a product that I use on a regular basis in my practice. It's an amino acid formula. It's high in methionine, which has a high double bonds, which chelate or grab onto heavy metals in your body. Liquid zeolite. You have to be careful. There's a lot of companies out there that put out zeolite products, and they don't have good third-party independent evaluation of the quality of their zeolite. So it's really, really important. Medidental clay from Premier Research. Again, you must mix that with liver ND. You can put it over your thyroid, your forehead, your head, any organs. The clay has a negative polarity. Your heavy metal toxins or chemicals have a positive polarity. It literally pulls it out through the skin. N-acetylcysteine. Research shows that people with depression are more likely to have higher levels of inflammatory cytokines like C-reactive protein, interleukin-6, and tumor necrosis factor alpha. Taking N-acetylcysteine may help reduce inflammation and ease depressive symptoms. There are just so many potential causes for depression. You have to kind of play detective and start looking at many different avenues. So heavy metal detox foods to eat include cilantro, which will actually pull it out of your brain, heavy metals, garlic, wild blueberries, lemon water, spirulina, chlorella, barley grass juice, Atlantic dulse, curry, green tea, tomatoes, and probiotics. So beating depression naturally. Natural remedies from the inside and out, nutritional support to combat depression. Sami, SAM hyphen small e, S-adenosyl L-methionine. That's what Sami is. It's a compound made naturally by your body. It helps produce serotonin, melatonin, and dopamine. Serotonin is an important chemical and neurotransmitter. That's the happy hormone, the neurotransmitters. Much clinical research suggests that Sami may have short-term beneficial qualities. However, long-term studies are lacking. Sami can interfere with other medications, so you have to be careful. People who take blood thinners may have a higher bleeding risk if they also take Sami. The compound itself can cause a variety of side effects, including dry mouth, diarrhea, dizziness, and insomnia. 5-hydroxytryptophan. It's called 5-HTP. It's a chemical the body makes from L-tryptophan. L-tryptophan or tryptophan is a protein building block. 5-hydroxy basically may help raise your brain serotonin level. Medications that increase serotonin tend to ease symptoms of depression. Not all research supports the use of 5-hydroxytryptophan. A 2012 analysis from a trusted source, the studies found that the benefits of the chemical were largely exaggerated. So the key is I would try to read as many authoritative sources, Price Pottinger Clinic, Joseph Mercola has a great site. Mike Adams, the Health Ranger, he has great articles and stuff. So these people, really have your best interests at heart. They put out really good articles and information about nutritional supplements. So in fact, a study published in the Journal of Neuropsychiatric Disease and Treatment claims that 5-hydroxy may make underlying symptoms of depression worse. Sounds like a little bit disinformation from the mainstream media, to be honest with you. Anything that interferes with tranquilizers and medications, they'll probably take a barrage of negative press. Omega-3 fatty acids. These essential fats may be good for relieving symptoms of depression. The human body cannot make omega-3 on its own. A 2003 study in European neuropsychopharmacology found that people who took omega-3 fatty acid supplements had reduced depression symptoms. Taking fish oil supplements for depression, based on the research of Dr. Brian S. Peskin, fish oils are rancid at room temperature and will deplete coenzyme Q10, which can result in congestive heart failure. Dr. Peskin has formulated a plant-based supplement of organic cold-pressed oils, which include flax oil, evening primrose oil, pumpkin seed oil, sunflower oil, and extra virgin coconut oil. This formula provides an 11-to-1 ratio of omega 6s to omega 3s. So EPA or any other oil can be made from the parent essential oils that he provides. So most oils being sold in the health food stores, unfortunately, are derivatives, and the body cannot use them to make the other oil. So that's why it's extremely important to get flax oil, evening primrose oil, pumpkin seed oil, sunflower, and extra virgin coconut oil. Vitamin B must be food-based. The B vitamins are important to your brain health. Vitamins B12 and B6 are particularly significant. They help produce and control the chemicals that influence mood and other brain functions. Indeed, low levels of these vitamins are linked to depression. If your levels are low, you can increase your vitamin B through your diet. B-rich foods include meat, fish, eggs, and dairy. As with all supplements, they must be food-based to maximize the beneficial results. A total of 14 drugs are known to interact with vitamin B complex, 100 multiple categorized as 2 major, 11 moderate, and 1 minor interaction. So there was a book written by a pharmacist about drugs and potential interactions with vitamins. So if you're taking a lot of drugs, you better start looking up the information on that. Vitamin D3. People with depression tend to have low D3 levels, but most people in the United States are deficient in vitamin D. Increasing your levels of this vitamin might ease depression symptoms. You can get vitamin D from certain foods, including milk, sardines, and eggs. Not all vitamin D supplements are equal. Most retail sources are made from irradiated lanolin, which is toxic. I personally take 10,000 international units a day. Symptoms of vitamin D toxicity include weight loss, heart arrhythmias, and excessive urination. Saffron, packed with antioxidant compounds, including the carotenoids, crocin, and quercetin. Interestingly, saffron has shown promise as a natural treatment for depression. Studies have observed that it increases levels of the mood-boosting neurotransmitter serotonin in the brain. While it's unknown exactly how this process works, it's thought that saffron inhibits serotonin reuptake, thereby keeping it in the brain longer. A 2013 study in the Journal of Integrative Medicine found that saffron supplements actually improve mood and reduce symptoms of major depressive disorders more than placebo supplements. Saffron is generally very expensive because many plants are needed to make a tiny amount of the spice. Therefore, saffron supplements aren't easy to find, and they can also be very, very costly. An analysis of 5 randomized controlled trials found that supplementing with saffron significantly reduced depressive symptoms in adults with MDD compared to with placebo treatment. What's more, the review found that saffron supplements were similarly effective at reducing depressive symptoms as antidepressant medication. So the key is you want to stay away from drugs whenever possible. Kava kava. One study published in Psychopharmacology investigated the effectiveness of kava kava. Researchers found that a water-based version of kava kava produced anti-anxiety, antidepressive activity in people with depression. Excuse me. Researchers also noted the extract brought up no safety concerns in the amount and duration studied. It was 250 milligrams of kava acetones per day. Rhodiola. It's an herb linked to a variety of potential health benefits when taken in supplement form. These include reduced depressive symptoms and an improved stress response, which can help your body adapt to stressful situations. The herb may exert antidepressive effects via the ability to enhance nerve cell communication and reduce overactivity of the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal cortical axis. The HPA axis is a complex system that regulates your body's stress response. Research suggests overactivity of the HPA axis may be associated with major depression. A study in 57 people with depression found that treatment with 340 milligrams of rhodiola extract per day for 12 weeks led to clinically meaningful reductions in depressive symptoms. Rhodiola treatment is maybe less effective than some of the antidepressant medications. It has fewer side effects, though. Another study found that supplement composed of rhodiola and saffron significantly reduced depression and anxiety symptoms in adults with mild to moderate depression after 6 weeks. Cordyceps, my favorite, cordyceps, by Dr. Stanley Nye. His source is the best on this planet. It is a phenomenal modulator, balancing hormones, increasing stamina, oxygenation of your blood, and balancing neurotransmitters. The other day I was like run down, and I was speaking with Stanley, and he said, take 3 tablespoons in the morning. And I did. And I went the whole day. I was not hungry. I felt euphoric. And it was just a wonderful experience. It's like the Energizer Bunny without being feeling like you were on amphetamines. So it's a nice, energized, calm way. Pure Synergy has 60 different organic and wild-crafted grasses, herbs, minerals, vitamins, etc. Very, very high-quality supplement. And in times of food shortages, so eat a little pasta, take a teaspoon of Pure Synergy. So you won't have to invest a whole lot of money in stored dried foods, which are dead. At least Pure Synergy has all the natural nutrients to repair the whole body, nerves, muscles, ligaments, and bone. Zinc deficiency is strongly linked to an increased risk of depression and depression symptoms severity. Zinc is a mineral that's critical to brain health and the regulation of neurotransmitter pathways. It also boasts antioxidant and anti-inflammatory process. Zinc is also the cure for COVID, the virus. It actually, you have to use hydroxychloroquine or quercetin to diffuse it or push it into the cell so it gets where the virus is. Anyway, one analysis of 17 observational studies found that blood zinc levels were around 0.12 micrograms per milliliter lower in people with depression than in those without the condition. The study also associated greater zinc deficiency with greater depressive symptoms. So the key to successful treatment, people, is to test the dosage on all supplements. Again, learn a simple home test. I have the sheet. It's how to take a basal body temperature. You basically, before you roll out of bed, you take the thermometer, you put it under your armpit, and you have to wait 10 minutes. You can also get a infrared thermometer. You put it on your forehead, activate the thermometer, which takes 1,000 readings a second, and you slide it off to the side of the head. It's the maxillary, it's the artery that it takes the readings off of, and it averages it out. It's the temporal artery. Anyway, if your temperature is consistently below 97.8 and you have a bunch of symptoms, 5 or more, and your pulse is down around 72, chances are you got an underactive thyroid. Anyway, I knew I threw a lot at you, but since depression, anxiety, and those type of psychiatric problems are the number one cause for disability worldwide, I thought that this information would be extremely beneficial. Share it with those people who have the issues. And the key is you got to keep flipping the rocks to figure out what the heck the underlying reasons are. So that's my story for tonight. And we have some, hello, Doc. I'm very interested in this topic. I have most of these ailments. Wow, not good. So a previous video week and want to learn more on methylene blue. I'm thinking it may help alleviate my ailments. Yeah, I just got my orders in of methylene blue, and I'm going to make up the dilutions, 1 part methylene blue to 99 parts of water. I take it every morning. I just take like 3 drops in like an ounce of water. Methylene blue helps with fungal infections in the brain. It helps the mitochondria produce more energy. So that's a real kitten. But you can do your armpit temperature. And unfortunately, most medical doctors with their blood test miss underactive thyroids. And that's just a fact. The TSH is not accurate in the blood testing. And most of the doctors don't do like the T3 levels and so forth. But with kinesiology or other energy testing techniques, the cyber scan, for example, or dowsing rods, you can pick up low energy in your thyroid and then make a diagnosis. So again, pulse should be ideally around 84, 85. Your temperature should be between 98.2 and 97.8. And if you have a host of these symptoms, then the chances are you got underactive thyroid problems. See, how do you develop a positive attitude towards life? Get rid of your negative friends. It's real simple. Don't hang around with turkeys. Hang around with younger people. Great question. The key in life is to have purpose. And I don't care what that purpose is. It has to be something positive that you can really, really get into. You have to have an interest in life, a reason to get up in the morning. I hardly ever watch TV, to be honest with you. To me, it's a wasteland. I'll watch a movie periodically to kind of unwind and just chill out. But you got to find something that lights your fire in your body. And makes no difference what it is. It could be history, could be politics. I mean, with what's going on today, I mean, I love listening to, I listen to numerous blogs every day. Dave Nazipso's one of my favorite, the X22 report. Bill Holter is another one of my favorite presenters. Cliff High is another excellent presenter. And these people give you good, practical information. So you may not be able to change a lot of things, but understanding what's going on reduces the anxiety. And but the most important thing, okay, there was a study done in Germany years ago where they interviewed centenarians, a whole bunch of people over 100. And it made no difference how much exercise you did, how many vitamins you took, how many yoga poses you did every day. The key to longevity were 2 factors. Number 1, do the things that you enjoy on a regular basis. If it's gardening, raising tulips, I don't care, flowers, whatever, having pets. I have 2 Maine Coon cats, and I swear at this stage of my life, when things have slowed down, having these pets available that give you unconditional love is wonderful. So doing the things that you really love, and even more importantly, is the ability to say no to people. That you are in control of your life, that other people aren't pushing your agenda. So anyway, that's how you develop a positive attitude. Dwayne Dyer had a great series on positive attitude. There's a lot of books and stuff. And, through the years, I've just always stayed interested in something, learning. I always try to learn something new, whether it was chiropractic back in the 80s. I studied, a couple of years ago, I bought a drone system to fly these little things. And it's mainly, I do it to keep my brain active, keep the connections hot and firing. And it just gives you something different to do, and it changes the routine around. So that's how you can develop a positive attitude. I'm taking methylene blue too, 3 drops as well in the morning. Great. Woody Goldman, make a difference. Absolutely. Make a difference, and do random acts of kindness. My lady friend and I left a restaurant in Center City, and I saw this poor woman sitting next to a wall there, and she looked disheveled and down and out. And I just walked over to her and I said, "Do you need help?" And she kind of felt kind of bad, but she said, "Yeah." And I just handed her a $20 bill. Who cares? It's only money. The most expensive commodity in life is time. You can never replace time, but money you can always replace. So make a difference. Make someone a little bit happier. I would love a drone. Can we hang out, Dr. Smith? Absolutely. Drones are fun. Actually, I have many photographs that I've taken with my drone, and I've printed them and had them framed, and they're in the hallway in my office. I've loved photography. When I was 13 years old, I used to do a lot of my own darkroom work. I just really enjoyed photography. I never took a course in it. I bought the Time Life series on photography, and I read photography magazines and all. But when I got a hold of the drone and was taking pictures from 1,600 feet up, it gives you a totally different perspective. Anyway, it's to me, it's a lot of exciting, and there's a whole new learning process. How to learn about how to fly these things, all the steps that you do before you take it off, and you got to have an app to make sure that you're flying it in a safe area. So anyway, it's another dimension of living. So always get involved in new things. So, no more questions? I mean, we got a light night? Anyway, if there's no more questions, I really appreciate you taking the time out of your busy life to hear what I have to say. The information will be up on GHS Doc Live, and Jared has it up, I think, on another platform. But anyway, God bless you, and we'll see you in 2 weeks, and we will get you the link for the live streaming for May 6th on Cancer Deconstructed. I'm really proud of this 10-part series on cancer, and hopefully it'll wake up some of the troops out there. So God bless you, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.